Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom stream, week 9, day 7. So today, it is of course still the last of the Vault event, the last several hours of it. Going to try getting in a decent amount more grinding than that, just so we could hopefully get a few more keys. Currently at the same 20 that we were before, so ideally want to get to about 22 if we could. But get those double twos in there. But let's go over the event for next week first, and everything else that's going to be bringing in. So let's start with the troops first. Oh, where's the little screen thingy for it? Right over there. So we have a dwarf week. We're going to be getting a bunch of stuff from Kazil. As far as the raid troop, we're going to be getting a standard raid damage troop. The biggest difference that it has is it will be able to jumble all enemies. It's a mechanic that we don't really see that often. Basically, what jumble is it will take all the enemies and just move them to different locations than where they currently are. So that's actually not too bad, given that if he's further up in your team, that could potentially bring the boss into first slot. Obviously, it's not guaranteed. Would be even better if it just dragged it simply to first slot, the boss itself. But still, it's at least going to give a chance that it could drag it up there. And could break up their team in a way that would make it easier for this to be able to hit damage on it. But other than that, pretty much just a standard raid troop, nothing really too special aside from that about it. As far as the next one, we have ourselves the Glory troop that will be available. This is a pretty underwhelming troop, however, you will be able to go and stock up on brown-blue trait stones if you happen to need them. This is an epic after all too, so you'll be able to stock up on quite a few of them. They're only 200 glory each per trait stone, so definitely a good time to go stock up on brown-blue if you need it for anything. As far as trading. As far as the troop itself, it is going to be near useless. All it does is an armor and attack gain, a very small attack gain at that, to an ally, and if they're a dwarf, it just does double. Even if that did triple, it probably wouldn't be relevant for much. There isn't really anything you would use this for. The troop that it was synergized most with from the kingdom is the exact same color as it. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of this thing will be other than nothing. So yeah, it's going to be pretty underwhelming. You'll just upgrade it, maybe use it for the 2x trait stones they'll probably give next week or something. And that's about it. It's not really going to be used for much else beyond next week. And other than that, we have a new weapon. This weapon is potentially useful. It is a Kazale weapon. It's one of the double color ones, just like all the other ones we've been kind of getting recently. This time it's for the typing of Kazale. Kazale has a few good options, like Gorgotha, like the two Iron Beards, such as Apothecary, and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think this weapon is going to do much for them. Creates red and brown. Both of those feed into the dwarf. That gives 50% mana to all dwarfs, and almost all of Kazale's dwarves anyways. So it could potentially have some usefulness in the future. This would also synergize with the hero class itself. So you might be able to use it for that, since you could start it with the half mana start legend, combined with the Rune Priest hero class, and just kind of combine those together. But overall, it seems like it's just going to be pretty average. It's not going to be as good as like the construct was of the other week, but still going to be one that's worth considering to get. We still don't know if the weapon update is going to be starting tomorrow. They haven't posted anything on the forum yet indicating that it would be. I don't believe it is. It's by how they mentioned it last week. It sounds like it's going to happen not this week, but the following week. So that seems like it's going to be the case, because they did not mention a single thing about it in any of the posts this week. So there's a good chance that the Soul Forge will still be the same as it is right now for this week. However, the following week should hopefully bring in the first time they actually do the unique Soul Forge thing, where they're going to start bringing in all the old weapons back into the game. That could potentially happen tomorrow, but there's a good chance that is not happening, though we haven't gotten a confirmation one way or another quite yet. Anyways, that's pretty much all of that. I think there was one other thing. What was the event for Friday? I believe we were getting Bounty Hunter. So there's one other troop, technically. Let's see, where did that go? Yes, we are getting another troop on this Friday. Let me go bring that up real quick. Where'd it go? So why did I take that down? I could have just kept it up. Why did I take that down? Window show. There it is. But this is what we're getting on Friday. It's another bounty troop. Let me just zoom in a little bit so we could actually see it properly. That should be good enough. But we're getting the excavator. This will be coming in on Friday. It destroys a column, which in the context of bounty hunter isn't that bad. And it creates 5 red boosted based on every single brown gem destroyed. Oh, that's actually really good. So if you end up destroying something like 2 browns, you just got yourself 9 red. And if you do even more than that, let's say 3 browns, boom, you just got yourself up to an 11 red onto a board that's already smaller. So that could potentially be good. It doesn't have any kind of other side effect other than gaining a little bit of mana. However, you can feed this to go and get all the red mana that you'll really need. And in some contexts, this might be better for Yagwe. It might be better for... this might actually be a Feral Hound replacement. It could potentially be a Feral Hound replacement. It doesn't have barrier attached to it. But normally you just need it to create red anyways. You don't necessarily need the purple as much because there's not as many good purple bounty troops. And this will also help fill that gap a little bit of not too many good purple bounty troops. Help fill that some. Still, we still don't have a good brown damage source though. I mean, not brown. Why did I say brown? I meant purple. We still don't have a good purple damage source though, but at least that'll fill the purple gap a little bit. And other than that, it has a summon a dust storm when an enemy dies, which is going to be really good. That'll get even more browns on the board, which it needs for boost ratio. And if you're using a hero that gains barrier every brown, that'll help him to constantly keep gaining barrier, in case you're not using Mountain Crusher, which in most situations you wouldn't be in Bounty Hunter. And he also has all the immunities that a dwarf would normally have: stun, poison, disease, death mark, devour, all that. But yeah, this is a potentially pretty decent Bounty Hunter troop. He might be a little bit more towards the average side when he first comes in, but as more good red brownie stuff comes into the game, like right now we have Tagaraki is probably the most noteworthy one. But as more come into the game, he'll be able to synergize with those, feed them mana, and go from there. I think we would need at least one other good red, which we don't currently have. Tagaraki is the only like extremely noteworthy red. But we'll get more into the future. And if nothing else, you can synergize it with Yagwe and other similar things. Wordbreaker, Ketris, whatever you want to use as your one bounty hunter troop, if you don't want to go all 4 bounties. But yeah, definitely a nice addition to the bounty hunter section. Will definitely make it a little bit easier going into the future. We just need some other good synergy troops to go along with it. But yeah, hello everyone! Hello William! Hello Corn! Hello Raven! Hello Mike! Hello Steve! Hello Jan! Hello Captain! Hello Wagner! And hello Raven! Welcome everyone! Yeah, I normally use Trickster Shot most of the time anyways, for almost every single one. Before I forget, let's just start off by doing dungeons. Definitely don't want to miss out on all those diamonds there. Probably just do it with a standard skeleton key in there. And just go from there. Oh, I'm still using Tide Color with this. That's not right. Let me go switch over to Shaman. It's our last hero class that is not maxed, that has half mana start. So I do want to go use that wherever on Earth it is. Alphabetical order and still can't find it. There we go. That's almost maxed soon. I wasn't actually deliberately trying to get it up at this point though. I've only been using it for some of the daily stuff and that's it. I didn't want to grind the last of it down just because we're going to be using it a lot anyways, because it's our last half mana start hero class that we haven't maxed out. So any instance where we specifically need half mana start, like right here, we'd be using the hero class. Hello Kevin, hello Jada, hello Medieval. Welcome everyone. All of you had a good weekend. I hope all of you have been doing good with the gnomes. How many Volkies have you guys found so far? I'm currently at what I believe is 22. I actually lost track a little bit there because I was opening them off stream. I believe it got up to 22. Somewhere's around there. Let's see. We'll go and take the other one down. 10, still not too bad. Yeah, I actually slightly started to lose track this weekend. So I'm honestly not even sure what it's at, but it's somewhere from like the 20 to like 23 area. Somewhere's in that general range. But regardless, it's definitely in the 20s, and that's still pretty decent with the double rate. And I say double, it's not exactly double, but you know, the double compared to what it normally would be. It's normally 3 times, and then it's was supposed to be 5 times. And based on what I've seen so far, it does seem like it was more towards 5 times. Yeah, I had the most luck amount on Friday. I believe Friday we got 12. Somewhere's around there. The Friday was the luckiest day we had so far when doing it, that's for sure. Wow, 35. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, I wonder if anyone actually hit 50. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let's go grab our diamonds. Always worth buying that every single Sunday, regardless of what point of in the game you are. It's because it has 2 gem keys on it, a 80 diamonds, and a bunch of other good stuff, like a Celestial. Speaking of Celestials, did we finally hit enough Celestials to have over 1,000? That should be really surprised if we don't. Okay, finally! Some point at this weekend, we got over 1,000 Celestial Trait Stones. I have no clue when, but it happened, so there you go. Okay, what's our next trade stone that we focus on? Brown green will be able to mass buy soon. What's our next lowest? Looks like pure purple. Nope. Oh, I hate this kingdom though. Oh yeah, I can do Bright Forest. Forgot. Duh. We don't have to go to Zol Carry every single time for that. We can just go to Bright Forest instead. Oh no, a Dragon Soul though. That's fine. Let's go get some more levels. Hey, you got 50 minus 47. Haha. I'm pretty sure at least some person did. If you got lucky enough doing it for about 12 plus hours a day, you probably would have gotten around 50. Oh no, I'm happy with how much I got this time around. Wow, 1 HP. I should have taken that skull. I thought that was enough damage, but apparently not. Hello, Original! Welcome! Okay, what do we even need here? I guess we'll just go for our standard firebomb and just kind of get that going. Oh yeah, also I have controller set up. Might as well be using it. That's the whole point of even having it. Also, the event objective was super easy this week. It's gonna feel weird not having them anymore, though. Those little things with those little green gems. We'll still have stuff to do on like those daily things, but it's not gonna be exactly the same as those daily objective things. Or those weekly objective things. We'll still have some kind of stuff replacing it. But that's probably not for a couple weeks, though. We still don't know exactly when it's going to be, but, like, really early July, it seems like it's going to be at this point. The next patch. There's a possibility it could be this week, though. It's very unlikely. And it could also be next week, which is a little bit more likely. Though it'd be slightly annoying, because I won't be here next week. For any of you that don't know, I will be going away on this Saturday. I will have stuff pre-recorded for every single day, various guide videos and stuff like that. Kind of like how we did that one weekend, except it's going to be for almost an entire week. I'm leaving next Saturday, and I'm getting back the following Friday. So our last stream of this week will be on Friday morning, where we'll be finishing out Bounty Hunter, or, you know, doing all of Bounty Hunter, basically. And the next stream when we get back won't be until the night of July 5th, which is the Friday after. I'll still cover the Legend and New Kingdom in the morning, though. Oh, wait, never mind. We're not getting New Kingdom in the morning. What was the other thing we were getting? We were getting the new Mythic and something. Can't remember what the other one was. Maybe we don't have anything else going on. Maybe it was just a new Mythic. But something's happening that day. And whatever it is, I'll just cover in the morning. I should say I'll cover it by the end of the day. Because my flight doesn't get back till like 3 or something. Let's see. I'll get that. Harpy Faction? No, I don't believe Harpy Faction was until the week after that. I believe it was the 12th. We gotta double check the thingy. I don't currently have it to the page that has that info. Let me go head over to it real quick. Will ever load? Loading, loading, loading. I shouldn't have tried zooming out while it was loading. I think I just confused the browser. Let's see. Apparently. There we go. What was the other thing I was looking for? I was looking for all weekly events. But yeah, this Friday was Bounty Hunter, that we know. The following Friday is... yeah, we have no event. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, I knew we had something. We have a new hero class. We have a new hero class and a new mythic the following Friday. Not this Friday, but the following Friday. 2 Fridays from now. I knew there was something else. Yeah, we're getting Bright Forest's hero class is what's happening. Hello, Radio. Hello, Dizen. Hello, Corn. And hello, Agung. But yeah, Harpy Faction I don't believe is till the week after that. I don't think we have an official date on it yet. Let me double check. Where'd it go? Where's the Friday one? No. Yes, actually we do. July 12th. Yeah, it's the Friday after that. And the patch will definitely be here before July 12th, 100%. Exactly when we do not know, but there's a 100% chance next patch is before July 12th. Yeah, that's when next faction is, July 12th, the Harpy faction. The one that had to get delayed. 100 souls. Why is that even a drop? We've gotten a 100 soul drop at least a dozen times this weekend. And it is annoying every single time. Never gets unannoying. It's just one of those things. Is the Mythic worth trying for? The next Mythic? I want to say no. It's not horrible. It's probably around the average mark. The biggest issue with it is it doesn't give you any kind of offensive capability. It is just purely a defensive red Guild War troop, essentially. It's going to be about as useful as Champion of Anu. Maybe slightly more useful than him. But it's around the same usefulness level as Champion of Anu. Or Scorpius or something like that. Like, they're not the absolute worst. They're just pretty underwhelming. But he will be the most defensive thing in the game for the most part. Like, overall, to all aspects. Because it has 50% spell reduction and 60% score reduction. And he gives 1 stat to all reds per turn. And he can gain upwards of 100 armor off his ability, which is pretty nice. If there's 13 or more skulls on the board. But the biggest downside he has is he has no immunities whatsoever to status effects. Which means if you can get a Bless on him pretty consistently, he'll be ultra tanky. But if you just devour him or death mark him or something like that, if he doesn't have the immunities on him from a Bless or something, he's just going to die out instantly to those kind of things. So he might be the super tanky troop, but he has no other immunities. He might also have a bit of a Stonehammer issue, in that he just doesn't do enough for your team to bother putting him in first slot, even though he's a tank. There's a possibility he will have the same issue. I don't think it'll be as bad as Stonehammer in that regard, but he might still have the same issue. And if he does, then it's probably not going to be worth using. But yeah, I would say skip on it for the most part. I'll personally be going for it. But other than Red Guild War, I don't foresee it being used for much, realistically. Red Guild Wars and maybe some factions, but mostly Red Guild War. Hello, Logan! Welcome! I do have to say, I like the concept of the troop. And it's better than Stonehammer in that regard. It just doesn't seem useful enough, though. But we'll just have to see. Who knows, maybe Yagoi will gain enough of a benefit to 1 to all stats per turn that it would be useful enough. You never know. Also, I believe that Mythic crate's red, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was red and brown. Or red and blue. It was red and something. Okay, hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 more vault keys. So far, hasn't been going too well. For the last of our grind. Also, we'll have first redeem code once we get our vault key. Our first vault key. I should say our only redeem code once we get first vault key. Because I have exactly enough to last till this Friday. Oh, we're almost going to gain that hero level 2. We're halfway, kind of, to level 1,500. At least numerically, anyways. It's technically not exactly halfway. You've been hoarding your vault keys to open them all at once once you're done grinding for the weekend? Yeah, that would make sense. I'm almost inclined to start saving my vault keys again. Because they said that they were going to start adding more gnomes to the drop table. In a way that actually might be good. Not like the current way where they're really, really, really bad. But like in a way that you'd actually be able to do it and gain automatic like a few gnomes or something. Because they are aware how ridiculously hard it is to get all those common gnomes. Or, you know, to get them to Mythic. Not to get them. To get them, it's really easy. They keep getting in the way of drops. But, you know, like a passive way to kind of automatically get them. There's even a chance they might remove them from the drop table, but I highly doubt it. And just add them through a different way that would be more cumulative. I'll just have to see what they do with it. And they are planning on adding an ingot gnome. They already confirmed that. It's probably not coming for another few patches. There is a possibility by the end of this year we're getting an ingot gnome. We'll likely drop a little bit of all the ingots. That's not the way I wanted to take it, but oh well, it still wins. No, currently the difficulty that you do vault keys on has no effect on them. They were planning on adding like different difficulties to it though. But as it currently stands, difficulty has no effect on your vault key drops. You'll just always do them on normal. Because anything higher is just making it harder for no reason. Ooh, only 2 keys. Yeah, you can get unlucky on them, fortunately. It happens. We went on like a 50-minute dry streak for one yet last night. And I'm not stopping to stream until we're getting at least one. We're getting at least one. Even if it takes 2 hours, though it shouldn't take that long. I sure hope it won't take that long. And I do have a few things I need to go finish up on Nintendo Switch, but I might do them off stream. None of them are too interesting this week, because I believe I just need to finish out, what was it, Raids or Invasions this week? It was one or the other. I just need to finish up that on it. And poke at the faction some. I don't think I'm going to be doing the whole entire faction event though. Let's take this Browns. Might as well. Give it the half mana start it doesn't have. And then just Sunbird it. Yeah, we've only really gotten 2 good Vault Keys this weekend. I got a Major Purple, and what was the other good one? Was the 15 Event Key one the one I was considering good? Because yeah, we haven't really been doing too good on the drop table of them. We've been getting mostly scraps out of them. But still, that one Major Purple still made it kind of all worth it. Worth about 675 gems. So a great amount of decent value on it. That will help us towards getting future mythics. You think this was a question a few days ago, but you can confirm that you can get Vault Key from the Vault Fight? Yes. It is still possible to get a Vault Key from a Vault Key. The chance of it is very, very, very unlikely, but it is still possible. It always has been since it's been out. The chance is ridiculously low, but it is possible. I think they deliberately lowered the rate of the gnome's chances of actually dropping a Vault Key when they do that. Because you would expect that the Vault Key would come a lot more often if it was actually a normal drop table for those gnomes. Because if they actually dropped at what the Vault Key drop rate is, doing 10 Vault Key should almost always be 1 Vault Key then, if it was the actual drop rate. But it feels like 100 Vault Keys or it takes until you just get 1 Vault Key from them. And even then, it might not necessarily do it. Well, there's one gem key. Not what we're looking for, though, but still decent value. Back-to-back gnomes. You know you want to drop a vault key. Previous guy dropped a gem key. At least drop another gem key if nothing else. Nope. Useless gold. Yeah, I keep forgetting how little value gold has, too. We were doing the math on it earlier, and it does come out to about 1 gem per 30,000 gold of value, which is very, very small to get something like a 2,500 gem drop, or even something like a 10,000 gold drop. Or sorry, did I say gem? I meant a 10,000 gold drop is barely anything, and anything else like that, because every 30,000 gold is basically 1 gem. 5,000 souls. That's basically 0 gems. A lot of gnomes, though. Did we just get like 5 gnomes back to back? Feels like it. So many gnomes all of a sudden. You drop some actual good loot. That is not actual good loot. That is just more useless gold. Our stack's like 17 million right now or something. And that's after donating like 3 million to the gold guild this week. Oh yeah, we have plenty enough for next faction. Like I was trying to get 15 million for it so we could have like 3 to 5 million to throw at it. Seriously, just keep getting gnome to gnome to gnome. But, yeah, we're definitely fine on gold for next faction, that's for sure. We have way more than enough. Useless drop still, though, all over the place. Oh, we finally didn't get a gnome. And now we're gonna go like 10 minutes with no gnomes. They always seem to have like a burst of a bunch of gnomes out of nowhere, and then it kind of goes stagnant. How is there no good move? Take that, I guess. And that'll be enough to kill. Luckily later an arrow didn't get the HP up, or else it would have been enough to probably survive our hit, which would have not been good. Sunbird will not be enough damage. Now it might be. You got 4 gnomes back to back and then had almost half an hour without any. Well, we just got 5 back to back, so let's see how long it takes until we don't get one. It happened around the 26-minute mark, so see what happens. He's got 2 Volkies in 5 minutes. Very nice. Yeah, we didn't get any back-to-back Volkies this weekend. I was actually kind of surprised with the higher rate. Not a single back-to-back. We got as many as 4 within 1 hour, but haven't got any double back-to-back Volkies this weekend. If you found that works for you, is if the gnomes stop coming for about 10 games, you switch kingdom, and after about 5 games, they start to come again. I have heard some people using that method. I don't believe it actually has any effect on it. It just seems like it does because it coincidentally does work sometimes. But I don't think that has any effect on it. Besides, we need this arcane trade stone. Gotta get up those green purples. Oh, so we'll throw that down. But yeah, we're able to reach basically base 400 arcanes this weekend. The only one I didn't get to do is brown-green, but that's just because we're going to get it done automatically in a couple weeks. I believe the event on the 15th is brown-green, if not mistaken. So that week we'll be able to stock up infinitely on brown-green. Okay, hopefully he has a default key on him. You know you want to. Nope, he's the most useless drop. 1,000 souls. That's not what we want to see. It's like changing slot machines at the casino. Pretty much. They're all gonna rip you off. Though, with the casino one, I believe certain locations of where the slot machines are do have better chances than the others. I believe the ones on the sides normally have better rate than the ones in the middle, just so that it makes it seem like more people are winning that way. I know there are certain locations at most places that actually do have a better rate. So if you actually keep switching at that place, or, you know, at casinos, it might actually legitimately give you better rewards. Because some of the slot machines are rigged to be better. Not by much, but enough. Hello, Poopa Mimi. Welcome. I'm sure taking that purple could have already won. Oh well, as long as he doesn't kill anything. Because if you would have got devoured there, that would have been very annoying. Would have taken like 2 or 3 sunbirds to kill that much HP. Okay, I didn't get a color follow-up, but let's take that and then a sunbird wipe his entire team. Oh, did you just get a revive? Well, at least we killed him prior. We don't have to deal with the revive a second time. Like, if he wouldn't have died and then he would have revived and we had to, like, triple the sunbird, that would have been a lot more annoying. Luckily, he did go down at a good time. That just dies to burn. This hero class does have burn. I forget what's giving it. I believe every single time an ally dies, we're burning an enemy. Which is why it seems like we're burning so much. Because Sunbird, every cast counts as a death. And Firebomb counts as a death. And that's an extra 3 damage per turn. It's also making it easier for us to kill them. Since it's making our Sunbird theoretically have 3 higher damage. Because the bomb or the Firebomb has the 3 extra damage. And that's going the turn before, so it applies a little bit extra damage. Not in this case though, because of the it kind of died to a random skull. But normally it'd apply 3 extra damage. It's like right there, hold to get a 3 damage right there. To make Sunbird essentially 3 damage more, or 3 damage less that it would have to deal with anyways. I almost got that level. Still no Volky, though. Still no Volky. If only. I do hope we get a really good last Volky to make up for some of the other ones. Probably not, though. But as long as we get at least one. Can't not end a Vault event without getting a Volky. Especially when it's at this high of a rate. Well, haven't gotten gnomes for the last several battles. Doesn't matter if he skulls us, it does basically 0 anyways. You'd have to hit through 41 armor, and even if they were a mythic, they would only hit in like the 20s or so. They are not really going to kill it. Maybe 30s on some of them. But it's not enough to break armor. And as long as they're not hitting HP, it won't reduce our damage. 18 keys and 2 major blues. Very nice. I still have not gotten a single major blue in 2 months now. Since we have crafted Zugoff, I have gotten 0 major blues. Despite getting every single major blue from events that you can possibly get. As well as grinding Volkies here and there. I've been pretty unlucky on major blues. I've been doing good on major purples though, at least. Well, there's our level, luckily. Unfortunately, a useless drop. There it is, level 1,450. Very nice. I'll start on yellow, I guess. I should have done it on blue, just to keep it kind of even. Well, that was still even, but I don't know, keep it symmetrical. Hey, Takaraki, we'll be using you this Friday, possibly. Well, almost guaranteed, because the 4 times battles we'll definitely be using Takaraki on. Especially since we need something big to put the red into anyways. Yeah, we'll probably be using Takaraki for all of them, because I'll probably be using Trickster Shot for the later ones. Sorry, not sorry, Mr. already owns Zugoff. Yeah, technically, it's actually not necessarily a bad thing that I'm not getting major blues anymore now that I own Zugoff. Because I would have almost nothing to put them into. I would almost just be saving them for either a new Zugoff or for future content. Likely just for future content. In case they ever release something where we need a bunch of major blues for whatever reason. There we go, there's one. Get that down. Another explosion. Drop a Volt key. You know you want to. Nope, they just like dropping 1 gem keys. Always annoying when they drop exactly 1 key. Because at first it almost seems like it's going to be the Volt key. Then it's like, oh no, it's a different key. It's not a Volt key. That gem key's still not bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what they might sink major blues into the future. If it was to be something, it would probably be something like Doom Troops again, where they end up adding something where it's going to take almost like a year to get them upgraded, like 6 different troops, and then you might want to use like 6 major blues to get them all maxed. If they had some kind of new piece of content in the future that's kind of similar to that, then we'd probably use major blues on it. Just so we can have it for kingdom upgrades. Because once every single kingdom reaches 10-star plus, every single troop that ever gets released will almost always be an extra star level. Once we start reaching 10+ stars for every kingdom. What's going to be in the Soul Forge tomorrow? We have no clue. We never know that until the Monday of. So we have no clue what the legends or mythics will be. We know what it won't be. We have no clue what it will be, though. It picks from a random drop table, and whatever has already been on that table in the given cycle will not show up. However, it could be completely random based on what hasn't showed up in the current cycle. So it could be almost anything. And we have no way of predicting beforehand. We won't know until Monday morning. That is not enough to kill. I guess I'll just take the skull. And now it's enough to kill. No chance for Iron Gut? I don't know if Iron Gut was on this current cycle. I can go check real quick. And let you know. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Soul Forge. Okay, what's his current cycle? 11? Let's see, when was the last Iron Gut? Was he 11? Or is he not 11? Nope. No chance for Iron Gut this cycle. However, it does look like this current cycle is almost done, though. But no, we shouldn't be seeing Iron Gut in the next few weeks. It's impossible. I forget how many Mythics are currently in the game, though. Let's see, we can do it based on how many we're at 10. There's around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of it. And on 11, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so about another 2 weeks until we could potentially see Iron Gut again. However, this week is pretty much guaranteed that there's no Iron Gut, and I believe the following week is also pretty much guaranteed, or literally guaranteed, that we won't get it. But after those 2 weeks, I believe we do have a chance of Iron Gut again, though it's completely random. Could be in 3 weeks, could be in 3 months on the next cycle. But yeah, it's currently used up on this cycle, but this cycle is almost done. Iron Gut might have been dropped recently. However, as long as it's on, as long as the cycle's almost gone, it doesn't matter how recently it was. It could have literally been out this week, but if the cycles were already resetting, it could literally be 2 weeks in a row. Just because it was recently does not mean it won't recently happen again. It just depends where the current cycle is running. And this current cycle is almost done. Only has about another 2 weeks until it cycles back around. And then it starts randomly picking from all of them again. It's very unlikely, but it is theoretically possible to have 2 mythics back-to-back, week to week, if it's right on the repeat of the cycle. Though if that ever does happen, that means it's going to be gone for a while, because then it needs to cycle through the entirety of the cycle again. Hey, you got a Volky! Congrats! Or I assume that's what you mean by you got one. Very nice. I'm still trying to find mine, and we'll have a redeem code once we do. Want at least one more for this weekend. Can't not get it. Probably going to be a pitiful key, too. So it's like we'll finally get it, and then it'll have, like, 0 value in it. Hopefully we'll get something out of it. Worth a shot. At this rate, we might gain a whole nother hero level before we get one. Oh, Volky. You know you want to. Do you have one? Nope, useless 500 souls. Looks like we're going to midnight now. Didn't take that long. I sure hope not, anyways. Yeah, it looks like Bounty Hunter will be kind of interesting next week with the new edition that we're going to be getting. Raids are going to be about normal as always. However, it might be fun to see if the shuffle moved the raid troop to first slot. But then again, that could also potentially be a bad thing because it has the highest attack of anything on the opposing team. However, it would be good in that you could use the raid troop to poke it. Have I heard of Raid Shadowhunter? You think it's a game you would like? You've never played it, but you've seen it on YouTube. I have not heard of it. Oh, Shadow Legends. Okay. I'll look into it. So I'm going to be pretty busy with an upcoming game, though. Mario Maker 2 I'll probably be doing a decent amount with. Initially, not so much, because I'll be gone, like, as soon as it comes out. Right after the fact. And maybe that Friday of, we'll stream it some. Actually, that'd be kind of funny. It might be the last stream I do. Because I'm not streaming Friday night. Because I need to make sure to get to bed early. For the flight. But we are streaming next Friday morning. Doing Bounty Hunter. The entirety of Bounty Hunter. And I'll be streaming maybe a little bit later doing Mario Maker 2. Might as well. And that's something I'll actually be doing while on the trip as well. Probably be messing around with that. And I have been doing Cadence of Hyrule some. It's a nice little mini roguelike. Or roguelite, I should say. I've always been a huge fan of the genre. My biggest thing that I'm really hyped for, though, that I would be doing a lot on the channel, more so than any other ones probably, is Darkest Dungeon 2. I am excessively hyped for that game. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover with it, too. I want to play through it initially and stuff first, though. But it's not even in beta yet. I believe it is coming out later this year. It doesn't really have much dates attached to it yet, though. They kind of just teased it and hasn't really done much yet with it. But it is happening. It's actually kind of funny. In Cadence of Hyrule, they found barrier skip. In almost every single Zelda game, there tends to be a skip that gets past whatever barrier they end up setting up, which is supposed to be the main obstacle of the game. And for Cadence of Hyrule, they found it as well. You can actually just go out of bounds with a really, really complicated setup and get right past the thing that requires you to do all the dungeons. Basically meaning you don't have to do a single one of the dungeons to get to Ganon. It's kind of funny that almost every single Zelda game has a barrier skip. And in every single instance, they're completely unintended. What do we take here? I'll take the green. Grab the firebomb down. And let's kill it. And nice little extra turn that should wipe. Or not. What will you do with the little jewel then? Get down with that. Ooh, 4 gem keys, major clan, and 10k gold. Not too bad for a vault key. Very nice. It's basically 700 gem worth of loot then. Actually, a little bit more than that. It should be enough to kill it with that. And there we go. Vault key sure is being elusive. 50 minutes, no vault key. Oh, what do I take here? Let's take the brown for now, and we can go right into a purple. There we go. Where's all the loot, though? So how's the hero doing? 87. Still got a little bit of ways to go on that, but not too much. I almost want to grind the last of it out right now, but that would still take a while. Let's see, it's 87, so that would be like 4.5 hours. Not sure if I want to grind it that much tonight. That would almost be the rest of the event if we did. Because it's only lasting for like another 6 hours. Ooh, 1,000 glory, very nice. Yeah, Celestial. Ah, do it? No. That's, I don't know. I'm definitely going to at least one Vault Key. If that takes us 2 hours, we'll do it that long. I don't think I would do the entirety of Warlord tonight. Because I don't really have any rush to get it up. The amount of instances we would use it is so minuscule. Do I have any idea when the new gnome will be released? The new gnome is probably a couple patches from now. We have no official date on it. Probably by the end of this year. We don't really know. We know that they're likely going to be doing another one soon, an ingot gnome. But exact time frame, we have not the slightest clue. Yeah, we do need to do more random troop challenges again. Definitely will need to do that. There's probably even some things that we could start doing with random team challenges too. Where we go and just randomly pick one of the teams that it suggests us and see how horrible they are. So we could start doing that too. We don't even need to open keys next patch. There's going to be a feature in-game starting next patch where it'll generate random teams for us. And all we have to do is just keep clicking it, and it'll just keep randomly generating us teams. So we don't even need to do keys for it anymore. It'll just do it for us automatically. We'll go to random troop challenges. We basically opened a bunch of keys, picked a couple of the troops, and then just ran a team with it. Or I would just open keys until we got 4 troop drops, and then reorder those troops into a team, and try using that to beat PvP to battles. That's basically what we did. It'd make battles a lot harder. Though we would normally need to take out 2 trophy PvP, because 3 trophy PvP, especially in the current state of the game, is way too hard to do that on. Unless we kept unless we constantly keep repicking casual PvP until we get a one that isn't completely meta. But against the meta, a lot of random troop challenges aren't actually going to work. I could still try them. Had many moons ago. Yeah, we haven't done a video on it on almost a year now. However, I did used to still do it on streams up until about the end of last year. I don't think we have at all this year, though. Ever since PvP kind of started shifting to the like really huge teams, I've been using it less or doing it less often. Just because there's less instances where you actually can get away with running them. But yeah, we'll be definitely bringing it back. And technically, next patch will be bringing in a feature that has it, theoretically. Do it on Switch. Switch has the same problem. Switch is 3 trophy right now. There's a 90% chance it is either Yagwe Queen Titania meta, or it is Dragon's Eye. And Dragon's Eye is never worth facing. You should always skip Dragon's Eye. Because Dragon's Eye is still pre-nerf Dragon's Eye. Basically, the point in which Dragon's Eye was the most overpowered is currently what Dragon's Eye is on Nintendo Switch. Which is by far the most annoying thing. Most of you guys probably know what Dragon's Eye was like at that point. That's what it is on Switch right now. By far the most annoying thing in the entire game. And it has not been patched from the Switch version yet. It will be next patch. We have no clue when we're getting next patch, though. If we had a 2 trophy on Nintendo Switch, we'd be able to do it on. Or 3 trophy if we happen to not get any of the meta. Though almost all the battles are the meta on 3 or 3 trophy. What was pre-nerf Dragon's Eye like? It transforms a random enemy at 100% rate. It still destroys all the gems. And it has, the summon ends up coming in at half the level. So it reduces their stats by a lot. It comes in with no traits. It hits a random target, and the random target's the most noteworthy one. Because the random target thing made it so it could hit absolutely anything. Even things that had stealthy and stuff like that. Right now, it only hits the last enemy in order to make it a lot less annoying. However, Nintendo Switches still hits random enemy. And if Dragon Eye casts twice against you, you basically auto-lose. Oh yeah, it also has no mana Baby Dragon too. That is also correct. Whereas Baby Dragon will come in with full mana now. On Nintendo Switch version, it'll come in at 0 mana rather than full. I wish they would have some kind of effect like that for your allies. Like, transform one of your allies into a good troop that has empowered. That would actually be really cool. Instead of how Dragon Eye is the inverse of that, in which it makes an enemy into one of them. That'd be kind of cool if we actually got one for our own team. Not sure what troop they would do that for. Maybe some kind of mana generating troop. Even if it wasn't that good of a troop, it would still be somewhat useful. Yeah, Dragon's Eye got nerfed twice. And one of the nerfs buffed it, ironically. And that's the exact one that Nintendo Switch has right now. But then it was nerfed into the ground, which is currently what every other version has right now for Dragon's Eye. The nerfed version of it. Nintendo Switch is the only location that doesn't have it nerfed. Hello, Yin! Welcome! You just got back-to-back Volkeys in 2 matches. Very nice. I'm actually surprised we weren't able to do that this weekend. Right now, I'm just trying to get 1 Volkey. We're almost an hour drive, 0 Volkeys. Which is quite insane. I think this is actually the longest we've went dry all weekend so far. 1 hour, no keys. And we're not stopping till we get one. And even then, we might not stop, but at minimum, we're getting at least 1. Yeah, it would be nice if we had a better way to manage our kingdoms. Like one page that you could do it all from. Because right now you have to click on each one individually. I know when I'm doing 5-star on my Nintendo Switch account, it is really annoying having to click through all of them like that. Constantly. Hello, Hogan! Welcome! Volkey, you know you want to. Come on. Or 1 hour Volkey, will we get it? Let's see, we'll go grab that one. 100 souls, exact opposite of 1. No, you can't really navigate them through... Well, you kind of can. Through trade stones. Not exactly, though. But that's basically just like doing it from the main menu. What we need is like a single page where we have like a kingdom management page. And then it shows you all of the stars for it, your objectives for each, and stuff like that, just to make it a lot easier to see them all at once. Because right now you have to click each one independently, individually. You also currently can't click through to see what the upcoming tasks are going to be either. Which will also be kind of convenient. There are ways to check them externally, but there's no way to do that internally in the game. Maybe if they ever expand kingdoms and make them more relevant and stuff, they might eventually add something like that. Because they did mention they want to make change how Home Kingdom works and other similar things. They never got around to it, though. They've been wanting to change the Home Kingdom mechanic for years now and still haven't. On their it's on their list of many things they want to get done eventually. They haven't made much mention of it recently though, but I believe it's still something they are eventually looking into. Because Home Kingdom has been useless for the entire history of this game pretty much. Is Princess Elspeth worth pushing for? No, she's not a particularly good troop. Firebomb covers pretty much anything that you would ever use Elspeth for. Or almost everything. Not exactly everything, but pretty close. And in many instances, Firebomb is just better than Elspeth, even though it's only a common. Well, it looks like we're pushing on to hour number 2 with no Volky. Well, it looks like we might be going to level 100 Warlord. We're at 87 right now. Started at 85 this stream. Probably going to reach 90 by the time we get our Volky. There you go, grab that, take a firebomb. Hey, you took my luck. I needed my luck back. The final stretch of getting nothing. Three rockworms, really? That could actually kill us if it got super ridiculously lucky. Rockworm at one point used to be meta. As weird as that may sound. It's because of how gem spawns used to work. But they have actually nerfed every single gem spawning troop. One of the reasons you almost never see me using gem spawning mechanics. They at one point used to be really decent. These days they're rather underwhelming. Ouch, 0 Volkies this weekend. Yeah, you can get that unlucky, unfortunately. It's very rare that that would happen, but it can happen. I've only ever gone 1 Volt event ever where we didn't get a Volkey. About 15 hours of grinding for 0 Volkies. But I've only had 1 weekend where that ever happened. Gnome vaults should drop gnomes the same way that Guild Keys Guardians do. Yeah, they need some kind of way to automatically get them per thing. I just wish they would do it in, even just completely remove them from vault keys. Add them in some way where you just get a guaranteed few each time. But also make it so it's a drop on the gnomes themselves. I still don't understand why Cedric, you can get Cedric from. But all the other gnomes you can't get itself from. Like a normal gnome doesn't drop the normal gnome. Pet gnome doesn't drop pet gnome. Stuff like that. Would have made a lot of sense just to add the gnomes to their own drop table. And just made it a really frequent drop for each one of them. Maybe even multiple copies. It doesn't make sense why Cedric drops all of the gnomes. It makes sense why he drops himself. It doesn't make sense why he drops the other ones though. Okay, that'll be enough to kill it. With this 1 HP Wisp. Having a hard time getting Sparkle Stack from Vault Keys. Have all other elements for the key team. Any substitute for him? Apothecary. Anything with merchants. Just completely ditch the whole extra gold thing and just go for another support troop. Bonnie Rose is sometimes incorporated into those teams too. So that you have like a second damage source. Because Bonnie Rose is the next best thing that is not hero that boosts based on gold. Well, there's Egg Thief, and then there's Bonnie Rose. Yeah, you can just put something like a Bonnie Rose onto that team. If I'm not mistaken, Bonnie Rose even has slightly higher damage than Bronze-Lock Pistol. They have around the same damage, whatever it is, but she gets to start with half mana. They only end up needing 6 to cast her, which you can normally do in 1 Egg Thief. What's a good PvP team that's quick? I don't know, that would depend heavily what you have. Infernus rush teams, Yagwe Queen Titania rush teams, literally anything with Queen Titania, literally anything that's skull spam. Key teams, relative to the fact that they give a lot of gold, are generally pretty good for quick winning. Anything that uses Skeleton Key with like Egg Thief and stuff like that, with Cedric. I don't know, it depends what you have and what you want to run. Also, some teams run a little bit slower but give other resources, like Skeleton Key team or Bronze-Lock Pistol teams. Where you might win slightly slower, but you get so much gold that it's slightly better loot, but you're winning slower. Like, it's more gold, but less of the other stuff. I personally run Skeleton Key a lot in PvP. The biggest issue with it, though, is it's slower compared to actual real PvP teams. You can still win PvP, but you're mainly doing it for the extra gold bonus that it has. Particularly on mid-range battles. I wouldn't really use it on 3 trophies. Essence of Evil is pretty good for quick killing, too. If you can get a big Essence of Evil into a bunch of other stuff, it works pretty well. Yeah, Glaceon plus King Bloodhammer is pretty nice. There's a lot of double skull spam combos out there. Glaceon, King Bloodhammer, Divine Ishbala Kulin, Infernus Shegra, and a few others. That basically just skull spam down the entire enemy team very quick. Please drop Volky already. You know what? Oops, I was meant to take that for an extra turn, obviously. Took the wrong one. Come on, Volky. 30,000 gold. That's not as bad. That's worth about 1 gem. The 1 gem of gold. It seems Skeleton Key team is always getting killed now when AI gets 7 turns to cast. It's something that you generally can't run against 3 trophies these days. A 2 trophy and 1 trophy can easily kill. Normally 2 trophy, because 1 trophy would be too low stats normally. What's the Infernus Rush team? That depends which way you want to use them. You can use them in the Divine method, which is Divine Protector into Infernus, one other option, and Divine Ishbala. You can do it in the Feed It Mana method, where you run Essence of Evil or Mountain Crusher first slot, followed by Infernus, one other troop like Obsidius or something else, followed by one other support, in which case would most likely these days be Mirage Queen, so you can half mana start the Infernus. And those I'd probably say are the biggest 2. Basically, half mana start it with Mirage Queen, or use it in Pure Divine in some context. And those are the biggest 2 that you would use it for rushing down PvP. The cheapest team you can get away with it is something like Mountain Crusher, Infernus, one other option, and Mirage Queen. That's the cheapest that you can get away with. That would still end up quick killing. And depending on what colors you use, Essence of Evil might be better than Mountain Crusher. It depends what you're up against. And what other options you have. Well, we keep getting 1 gem key. It does not want to give us 3 gem or 4 gem keys, nor does it want to give us the vault key. Yep, no problem. Yeah, the location of Firebomb doesn't matter. As long as it's behind your hero. As long as it's behind your Sunbird. That's the only thing that matters. It needs to not be in front of your other reds. Because if it's up front, it'll actually block your red mana. Because it accumulates the mana and then dies. It doesn't die and then accumulate the mana. So it's going to block whatever mana it ends up accumulating if it's up front. What hero class with this? Any hero class you want to level. It doesn't actually matter much. I'm currently using Warlord. Just because I'm trying to level Warlord. But you can put literally any hero class there. There is no wrong answer. Whichever one you want EXP on is the one that you put there. Ideally, a half mana start hero class that you haven't leveled yet is what you'd want to put there. This one currently doesn't have half mana start though. Well, it never does. Warlord doesn't have it. Actually, what's kind of interesting, it's actually impossible for Warlord to have half mana start. Because the only thing that can half mana start is Titan. And you can't use 2 hero classes at once, so... It's actually, if I'm not mistaken... At least in the current state of the game... Yeah, I believe it is the only hero class that is quite literally impossible to ever start with half mana. Because it's the only hero class that has the same typing of a half mana start on another hero class. Because currently half mana start is only for mechs, for giants, and for Tauruses on hero classes specifically. And there are 2 hero classes that have a giant. It's the only one that has overlap. So, I never even realized that. Warlord hero class is the only hero class, at least currently in the setup of the game, that is literally impossible for it to ever have half mana start. The other ones could potentially have it eventually, the ones that don't currently have it now. But it's the only one that will absolutely never have it with how the game's currently set up. You don't think you understand what banners do? Do they up the chance the color showing up? No. What banners do is they make it so you accumulate more mana whenever you swipe that mana from the board. So for example, right now we have a banner of +2 purple, +1 red. So whenever we take, let's say, a purple from the board, we're going to be getting 2 additional purple from when we take it. And right now we have a +1 red on top of the fact that we also have a +1 red on a hero. So we're going to gain 2 extra red whenever we take a red. So if I take a red here, it's going to give us 2 more than what we would. And we can also get the Surge, give it even more. But as you saw right there, we end up getting 5 mana from it. Because the normal 3 plus the 2. 1 is from our banner and 1 is from the other link that we have. Basically, any of those links and banners, basically what they do is whenever you swipe the color from the board, it just gives you that much extra mana. So if we take a purple, we'd also get 2 additional. Because we have +2 on the banner. So right here, this will either give us 5 or 8 mana. 8 if it surges, or 5 if it doesn't. And as you can see, we just get 5, because we have +2 purple currently. Yeah, that's what that does. Oh, you got Plague class level 100. Nice. Great one to have. Well, speaking about level 100 Plague, there's level 88 Warlord. I was kind of kidding when I said we might get it to level 90 before we get the Vault Key, but at this rate, it almost looks like it might happen. 2 levels away. I don't know, whoever wanted to see me max out this hero class, apparently we might be doing that tonight. I guess at this point, this is stream until we get 1 Vault Key. regardless of how long that takes. I was not expecting one to take this long, but we're going all the way at this point. There's nowhere we're stopping now. Yeah, keys can vary a lot on if they're good or not. They have such a wide drop table on them. Okay, I'll grab this purples there. Sunbird for the kill. Skull makes it so we definitely have enough, though we probably didn't even need that skull. But we got it for free, so why not? Move that over. Come on. Cast Firebomb. Did not cascade mana. Yes, we did. Never mind. Wow, that was a big cascade. It's like 11 cascade right there. Get a free map from it, which are pretty useless these days. Now you're gonna watch some gnomes being smashed. Well, we're smashing a lot of gnomes, but we're not getting a lot of vault keys from smashing those gnomes. Unless this one wants to prove us wrong. Nope. Almost an hour and a half now with no gnomes. I mean, with no vault keys, I mean. Hello, G-Man. Welcome, and thank you. Yeah, we'll take that one down. We'll then go move over the, Hey, that reminds me, too. Do any of you guys have any suggestions for videos to cover? Starting tomorrow and going throughout this week, I am going to be pre-recording a lot of videos for the week that I'm going to be gone. And I'm going to have at least one per day. Depending on how much time I have, maybe we'll have even more than one per day. But definitely at least one per day. So if any of you have any suggestions, let me know. Anything you want to see covered, anything like that. Should be getting to about 6 or 7 of them at least, if not more. I already know generally what I'll be doing, but do want to take more suggestions just in case I have more time to do even more of them. Do you know we are getting percentage for drop keys and chests? Yes, that's happening next patch. Will we give percentage for vault keys as well? I do not believe so. I believe it's just for the normal keys, like gold keys, glory keys, gem keys, stuff like that. Beginner farming strategies. What old weapons would be worth looking out for? Video? Oh yes, I will be covering that for sure. Actually, let me make sure I add that to the list. I don't think I actually added that one, even though it was one that I was mentioning that I would go over. But yeah, I'm definitely covering that. Top 10 weapons to craft, now that we're probably going to be able to craft them now. I don't think that's happening next Monday, but it should definitely happen by the following Monday if it doesn't happen this Monday. The ability to start crafting old event weapons. Let me see. Let me add that to the list. Let's see. I added both of those. Top hero class video. Oh, I never did cover that, did I? I mentioned it quite often on stream, but I don't think I ever covered a video on it. Top hero classes. Probably top 5 hero classes. Or maybe even just an overview of all. But then again, I kind of want to save the overview for all for when I finally get like level 100 all. So that I can actually in-depth show them all. I guess doing like a more general video would still work too. Because it takes a while to go over them all. But we could definitely do like a top 5. Because that'd be more relevant anyways. Most people just want to know what the better ones are anyways. Not what all of them do. Who knows, maybe both. Best early game troops to raise would be good. That's a bit of a hard one. Just because there's a lot of things that come under that category. And it's normally just easier to say, like, what kind of things to look out for, which are normally, like, boost ratios, good board control, stuff like that. Oh, no, I guess I could start mentioning, like, several of them for a video. I don't think it would be in any particular order. It'd almost just be, like, a list, almost, of, like, 30 troops or something. Let's see. Good early game troops. What another issue with some troops too is there's low rarity stuff that is good that doesn't become good until later in the game, which might sound kind of counterproductive. But there are some that are kind of like that. Yeah, Rowan's definitely one of them. Something that you can easily get off a kingdom. Elwyn's actually pretty high up there these days as well. You can get it for free off a kingdom, and it's actually better than Rowan when you don't have any kingdoms upgraded yet. As a first Kingdom Epic, it's actually the strongest Kingdom Epic currently in the game. For every version except for Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch didn't get the buff yet, but every other version has it. Because they buffed them about a month or two ago to have 7 times boost ratio rather than 3 times boost ratio for the exact same ability. Well, I have done a video about 2 months ago when Nintendo Switch started, going over all that early game stuff. Like the whole strategy for it. I could maybe do a little bit more of a concise one, possibly. For starting out. Because I think the other one might have been too long of a video. Maybe just break it down in specifics. Hey! It only took us an hour and a half, but we finally got a Volkey. Unfortunately off a Glory Gnome. Wow, that took too long. Oh yeah, I will be covering faction teams. And definitely need to do that this Tuesday. But there's actually 4 faction team videos I want to cover. Basically, let's see, what's the full breakdown? One is everything just with factions, just a kind of explanation of what they are. Another one is low-level faction teams, as in what you run for the first 100 levels when you're doing the dailies. Low-level in general when you're like a newer player and you need to try getting through factions. And the other 2 is high-level when you're going through the factions, what kind of teams are the most meta for factions just in general. That you could theoretically throw at any level, but it would be the kind of like the end game ones that you would throw, particularly at 200+, but you could also throw it at any point if you had the troops. And the other one would just be pure faction, which would probably be the absolute easiest to go over because pure faction is pretty straightforward for most factions. But yeah, let's go do the code. But first things first, let's go open the key. Actually, never mind. It's going to infinite loading screen. Let me do code first. Code time! And does anyone else have any other questions or suggestions for videos? Let me know. Otherwise, I do think I'm going to head off for the night for now. Let's see. Copy that. Get that in there. Get that right over there. Boom, boom. Make sure it works. Some of these haven't been working. Luckily, this one does. Get that right over there. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com. Reach the game code section. Your invite code's found in your settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. And give the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And apparently we're in an endless loading screen. Hopefully it'll load in the next minute. Yeah, it is possible. With how factions are right now, it is possible to actually mess up your account slightly. Though if you mess up Silver Necropolis, you can still do Warrens. And if you happen to mess up literally every faction you currently have, you could always just do whatever the next faction coming into the game is. Though I wouldn't really advise doing that with this next one, just because it's a really annoying one. But the one after next one, you could just do it for that. Well, yeah, I was going to do a video going over how troops have different stats. I've covered it in the past a couple times, but doing an updated video on it would be useful. Okay, is the game gonna load today? But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions or anything? Then we'll go open the lovely key and hopefully get something good out of it. Let's see. Do I know when a new faction's coming out? Yes, July 12th. And the next patch will be prior to July 12th. We don't know exactly when. But next faction's July 12th for sure. And the update is sometime prior to that, though we don't know specifically the date of the update. Yeah, next faction is July 12th, the one that was supposed to be the Harpy one. Should you spam your treasure maps? You basically use treasure maps prior to owning Dragon Armor or Death Knight Armor, but after that, you pretty much never do maps again. They're pretty underwhelming. Their current loot, relative to the amount of time they take to complete. Hello, PC. You want to work sometime today? Come on, game. Okay, we'll go and just restart the game, I guess. Might be quicker at this point. There we go. Okay. Where's the other thing? Let me go grab, where'd it go? I'm looking for the launcher of Steam. I can go relaunch the game. Games, view games library. Also, we're getting close to the 10,000 hour mark as well. We are only about 300 hours away from the 10,000 hour mark. It is quite insane. That means we played the game for about 2,000 hours per year that it's been released. Best low-level pet rescue team. I have covered that before, but I could possibly cover it again. Low-level pet rescue. Okay, let's go grab our tribute, and let's go open this key. And also, here's the redeem code, as I mentioned. Not that. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Same reward as always. Usable on every platform except for console versions. Okay, vault key time. Let's go open this thing. Hopefully we have some good loot in here. So, what will the final vault key reward us with? Let's see. What am I doing? Just throw that down. Am I doing the faction this week? For what? The daily factions? I've still been doing the daily factions here or there. I've been doing it consistently every single day. And no! Volky, why have you forsaken us? That is such bad loot. We got in like 5 Zeddicus this weekend, by the way. How many Zeddicus do we currently have? I want to say it's 30-something, but I'm pretty sure it's even higher. Nope, I was right the first time. 33. Wow. That is a lot of useless Zeddicus. We only need 2 of him. Well, technically 7. The first 5 to ascend, and then the other 2. But everything beyond that's pointless. So we have 31 useless copies of Cedric, basically. We want some Zeddicus! But yeah, we have such an excess of them. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming down. I'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always. 1 hour prior, or actually at this point, an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing raids and going over any of the new event stuff, though it's mainly just raids, because that's the only main thing we're getting on tomorrow. That and the weapon, though I'm not sure if the weapon will really have much synergy. I don't really foresee it having anything too broken of a synergy. Other than that, Bounty Hunter next Friday, and the rest of the week is pretty much just a normal week from there. But yeah, new event going on Monday. We'll go over all that with a video coming soonish. And this Friday we'll have the Bounty Hunter. And after this Friday, from Saturday for the next week after, I'm basically just going to have a bunch of videos uploaded automatically because I will not be streaming that week because I'll be gone. And I'll mention more about that once it gets a little bit closer. But yeah, I'll probably have them scheduled like I had the last time. Probably just 10 a.m. every single day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it will just upload 1 video every single time. And if I have time to record even more than 1 video per day to have preemptively, then I might have multiple going up. But I'll have at least 1 per day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Saturday until the following Friday. They should do Vault Troops the same they do Guardians. I wish they would. It would make them come in a lot easier. They did mention that they are planning on a fix for obtaining the gnome troops. However, they didn't really specifically mention when on earth they're going to do that. But there will be something in the future that they are planning on doing that will make it easier to get the gnomes. But they aren't doing it yet. It could be several patches from now. But it is something that they are obviously aware of, that they are planning on doing eventually. Let's see. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for stopping by. Best of luck if you're still doing any gnomes. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Goodbye, everyone.